This is the Cats and Pudding Podcast. A melting pot of pudding. And now, here's Jen.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Cats and Pudding. And today I'm filming in one of my favorite places, growing up Italian, with my favorite person that's sitting across from me, Miss Dolores Catania.
Hi, Jen. I'm so excited to finally be here.
I know, it's been, I've been trying to get you here for a little while.
I
but
know
now
you
you're
have.
here.
I'm sorry. I've been all over. You know where I've been. So
I do.
If you want to talk about that, we can talk a little bit about that.
So let's talk. Well, this is where you've been. You've been in Rhode Island filming a new show. How did that was all summer.
I'm going to tell you, of course, I can't tell you the behind the scenes of it, but I can tell you that it's a good cast. I spoke to Andy Cohen last week. I had been on his radio show, and he's like, what could you tell us about Rhode Island? I said, it's a really small state, but it packs a big punch. Mm-hmm. Now, you could read between the lines of what I'm saying. I'm just not being a corny cliche person.
Right.
But I wanted to give you guys some stuff without telling you something that could get me in trouble, right? So yeah, Rhode Island girls, I would say if I had to describe them, they are what New Jersey was years ago to a certain extent.
Okay.
Right? They're not all Italian.
Okay.
But they act Italian.
Okay.
And it's not I shouldn't say act. It's not an act, but they have Italian characteristics.
Gotcha.
Of like the old school, very principled. They're hot-tempered. My one friend there, Liz McGraw, is
Love
so loyal.
Love her.
I would die for her because I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's not easy to find. We're a dying breed.
We are. That's for sure.
That type of person that we are. You'll fight for your friends. And this girl is that. Like, for an example, somebody said that I said something, which I didn't.
Okay.
They tried to bait her into seeing if she repeated something. And you know what she did? She was like, yeah, doesn't sound like her.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave now and go tell her what you said. That's what I miss.
That's true loyalty. Yeah.
And she did.
Yeah.
And I called the person immediately who would supposedly something was repeated about. And the person had no idea what either one of us were talking about.
So it was somebody that put something out there to see.
Well, they could see whatever, but they were just, kind of trying to bait her to see if she repeated something she said. And they assumed she would have told me.
Right.
Because we're so close.
And she did it.
Regardless of whether she did or not.
Yeah.
It would never got repeated because everyone knows me and I'm a vault.
You are a vault. You're very loyal. You're a vault. You're a good friend. I mean, you've been a good friend to me over the years. And
I take pride in that, Jen. I take a lot of pride. Like, my father raised me. I didn't teach you to be a friend when it's easy to be a friend.
Right.
And even when friends didn't deserve my loyalty or my friendship, I still, out of respect to myself, do the right thing by them.
You do.
But then I cut them off, too.
But you know what? But you do it to a point where, like you said, you'll cut them off, but you give somebody, because that's your personality, because you can never fathom somebody not being loyal because you're so loyal.
Right, so I get blindsided by that.
And I'm the same way.
Yeah, I don't see that. Now, let me talk to you about this for a second, and I want to know how you feel about this. Have you been watching Miami Housewives?
I have not, but I've been seeing clips like on social
so
media.
Have you seen the reunion?
I saw
where
part of
two
the
very
reunion.
close friends had a fling. Two women.
That I saw. I saw a clip of that. Yes.
So this one, it's being hung over her head, so she feels.
Mm-hmm.
Julia is married. Adriana is not. Julia outs the fact, even though she's cutting her nose off to spite her face, because it was something she did behind her wife's back. She says, well, I'm tired of this girl holding this against me, Adriana. I'm afraid she's going to bring it up, so I need to get it over with.
Right.
So she goes, we had slept together. And Adriana, by the looks of her face, says, I was never going to bring that up.
Right.
But the other one felt like she was being threatened by it. So she tells her wife, she says to her wife, listen, this happened behind your back.
How'd the wife handle it?
She said, I guess do what you have to do. From what we know. We don't know how the wife
You don't know.
it.
Right.
I think it's a tumultuous relationship as it is. But it's still never an easy thing to hear, right?
Of course not. No.
Well, you'd have to be Stevie Wonder to see that they weren't fucking around because they were all over each other all the time. I would have stopped that friendship a long time ago. Anyway, in the fit of rage, Adriana, the other girl, says, I would have never, I wouldn't want. And then she had to kind of admit it. She's like, all right, yeah, it happened. And guess what? You had an affair with a Haitian mortician, and you had an affair with a cop, and you used to go to the hotel and pay for the hotel while you were married. I'm not the only one that you were with. So
now she's really throwing her under a bus after she's talked about something.
You're following the story?
Yeah.
Here's the problem I have, and this is the example I'm using. I think it was wrong for, even though she just said that this happened and this girl did not want this out, even though it was wrong, she repeated things that were said to her in confidence while they were friends.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
You shouldn't do that. Not at all. Not even if you're not friends anymore. I mean, you shouldn't go for me being a loyal person, if somebody tells me something in confidence, even if I don't talk to them anymore, what does that say about me that I'm going to talk about something that somebody told me in confidence when I was their friend? Because that's a shine on my character of who I am as a person.
Right, but so many people do that on these shows now. When we were friends, she came to me and she said this about you. So I went, and it puts a really bad taste in my mouth, but they go so low, Jen.
Yeah,
it's almost like the other person has nowhere else to go.
Right.
They kind of have to do that.
They have to go lower.
They have to go lower. But how low do you want to go before you now compromise yourself and your principles and who you really are?
Well, the question is, I mean, for you, the only person you can control is yourself, right? And how you react to a situation. Yeah. You can control how you'll behave, but unfortunately, we have to come to the reality that we cannot control what everybody else is going to do and expect them to react the way we would. But keeping our own principles, I would, to me, I will try to hold my principles as much as I could, like I know you will, but you can't control what everybody else is going to do. That's the problem.
So in that instance, right, now she goes low, she goes lower. Now how deep are we going before it's almost like in my business, I've noticed they're killing each other.
Yeah.
They're actually burning such a bridge. It's like a duel.
Yeah.
And they both die.
Yeah.
Because
who dies first?
Who has to have the last word?
Yeah.
They both die, I feel like, at the same time after they've both, done all this. Now, Adriana, the girl who did say this, if I was to become friends with her now, there isn't a fucking chance in hell I would ever confide in her about something.
You can't.
After I know now that if we get in a fight, she's going to repeat that.
Absolutely. You could not, looking at somebody doing that, how can you say to that person, be a friend to that person that you can't trust? There's no way.
You can't.
There's no way. You could be fake friends.
Listen, it's
but
very
I don't think
few
you
and far between, Jen. It's very, like last night I was watching Salt Lake City. Mm-hmm. And Angie now is fighting with Lisa Barlow. And when they were friends, she decided to go to Meredith Marks and say, your friend, just so you know, when you and I weren't talking, called me and told me to look into your family. And she told me things about your family that will hurt you. And she wanted me to find things out about you. And she gave me names. She told me specific things. Now, Angie, that was low.
Yeah, that's very low. But but what is the end game for all this? Because they want to get a better storyline.
Now, I'm going to tell you, it's happened to me. It's been done to me.
They're desperate to keep relevant.
They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They want to hurt the other person. It's happened to me, and I can tell you when that has been done to me, I still didn't hurt that person. I still didn't go and repeat things that person said to me in confidence. But I can tell you what I do in that situation. I fucking hated the person by then, and I still didn't compromise my principles. Now, I'm not saying that someday I won't do that, but I can tell you up until now I haven't, and I'm going to be 55 in December.
Did you approach the person privately and say something?
No, I just kept it. I ate it. Because now if I go to that person and I say, you did this, now...
More ammunition to say something that you came to them and said.
Well, that's number one. I give up my source.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one, who asked me not to. So now that's the first and foremost, I can't. If I tell that person I know what they did to me, now they're going to be afraid of me and they're going to try to hurt me more because they think I'm coming
Exactly.
for them. I'm going to fuck you
Yeah.
with a smile.
Right. Well,
Which
the revenge is the best dish served cold sometimes.
it is. And that's
right?
another thing my dad taught me. Fuck them with a smile.
Yep. You
And
need
I'm
to.
so good at doing that. And the other thing I'm very good at is I can hold information and I can hold something about you, and you will ask Frank about that today. I will have it in black and white in my pocket and be even nicer to you now that I know. It's almost like a relief when someone does that to me.
Because it's like you don't know about this person, because I'm sure you're like me. You kind of see people for who they are. You kind of
Sometimes I still get fooled. I might have won Traders, Jen, but not because I was picking out the traders. It was because I gained the trust of everybody in the castle.
People. You played the game very well, because you know what? People saw you as a confident. People saw you as like the consigliere.
Yes, and I really had their back,
and you had the right, and that's why
I won.
You did. Yes, because of you and your true self.
But not because I was a strategist.
No.
Not because I was manipulating people by lying.
I watched the whole thing, by the way.
You
so
did?
I did. I put it on. I got hooked on it.
You don't watch anything in its entirety.
No. I watched the whole thing. I got hooked. I said, I have to watch this thing all the way through. And I did. I watched and I was like, it was really good. And I loved you. It was so funny because you kept like saying that you thought this person, Tom Sandoval, was hysterical. You kept saying he was, but he just pissed you off.
I didn't think he was. I said
he just pissed you off.
He came for me.
The first.
Every night at the round table. Every night.
Yeah.
And I got to that place and I said, listen, he cheated on his girlfriend. We all know what he did with her friend, who she shouldn't have allowed walking around the house in a T-shirt anyway. I mean,
that was her fault.
Whatever.
A man's a man.
Yeah. Come on. So it's not her fault he's a pig, but he's a man. My mother always said a stiff one has no conscience.
True.
Truth.
Brilliant statement, but so true.
And would he have cheated anyway? Yeah, the
Probably.
fuck he would have. But not because you let this girl in your house with a T-shirt on.
No.
And nothing else.
But you gave it to him on a silver platter, basically.
You gave it to him. But he was taking it anyway, by the way. So Tom Sandoval, I went there and I figured he had taken his beating through the whole world. And I was like, let me start this game clean with everybody here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to look into what they used to do. But you never should do that.
Yeah.
What they're capable of doing out on the street, they are capable of doing anywhere.
100%.
So tried to be nice. And the first thing he do, we tried to fucking have people say,
You're a traitor.
I'm a traitor. And he came for me because, and nobody wanted to listen to him.
Nobody was listening to him at all.
Would you stop?
Nobody believed
And the reason I had to go for him and vote for him every day, because eventually somebody was going to listen to him.
Absolutely.
Because as the numbers dwindle and there's less people to look at, now they just start throwing.
They just throw shit against the wall. Right.
Yeah.
And they figure it's going to stick.
So I had to really, I had to go for him because he was coming for me.
Yeah.
Which they cut out.
Yeah.
I actually was too nice to him. I really should have eviscerated him.
You are. But I'm going to think he shouldn't have made it as far as he did. He was lucky he made it as far as he did.
Because one of the traitors had a crush on him, Caroline.
Yes. Yep.
And once he figured out that she was a traitor and everyone else did, he was trying to get the attention off of her and put it on me.
Right. And take it off of him too. Because he should have been, people should have voted him out a long time ago, because he was wrong about everything every time too.
Yeah.
So that could make people suspicious about him and being a traitor just because he's a bad liar, first of all.
But here's the thing. It's funny because when I was leaving and I didn't know much about the game, I had asked to go. I was packing for Scotland. I have to go see my mother. And I'm like, so Mom, I'm trying to explain this game to her. And she's like,
I remember when you were leaving to go on it, and you were like, "You're going to be stuck in a castle for all this time and it's not talking."
And
to
I
anybody.
said to my mother, I said, Mom, leaving, I don't know much about this game, but when you get there, you got to figure out who the murderers are. Mm-hmm. And she said, it's going to be simple. And I said, why? She goes, because evil can't stay with evil. And if you look at the first round table, the two traitors turned on each other.
Yep.
Boston Rob
turned on. What's that? The blonde, right?
Nope.
No.
Bob the drag queen.
Bob the drag queen, right?
Turned on him. And that was the first time you saw them turning on each other.
Yeah. And that was the first episode that they all knew each other. Like they knew that they were the traitors. It took one episode for them to turn on each other. But Rob came in there to win. That's what he wanted to do.
And I didn't vote for Rob because he was Italian. Sorry. I couldn't do it.
He's likable though, Rob. I like him. He's adorable.
He is. People love him. People have always loved him. He's a good guy. I couldn't do it. So,
yeah. He's there to win. Everybody knows he's there to win, but he's still likable though.
So I even brought my loyalty to the castle.
That's so. You did.
Yeah.
You did. But that's why you won, because people trusted you and people trusted what you had to say. Like they came to you to ask you for your advice and what you thought. And they knew you were a faithful person because that's what you emulate.
Yeah.
That's who you are.
That is in my DNA, like religion, like family, like step. That is instilled in that. Before you can walk in my house, you learn your rosaries. That's the truth. Like the first thing you learn how to do is pray, have faith, never turn on your family. Family's first. Help people. If someone has nowhere to go, they come for the holidays. Never let anybody sit alone. If I find out somebody's getting picked on in school and you didn't step in for them, then I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
Yep.
How many calls my father got to the school? A lot.
It's like we live the same life. It's the same because we're the same.
A lot. Yeah.
But you know what is I always feel not bad for you, but like you're in an environment on the show that you're on, and I just find like with Jersey, and the only reason why I even watch Jersey is because of you. I don't really watch the show. I don't have time to watch really.
Well, that's the thing.
But I do try to keep updated on things, especially because of you, because I love you and you're my friend. I feel like you're in such an environment with these women, and they're just all that. None of them are loyal to each other.
Something's gotten lost along the way, Jen, with my show, and that's why it's no longer airing.
Yeah.
Something has definitely gotten diluted. I see it not only on my show.
It's on a lot of shows.
In general.
Yeah.
That's why I enjoyed Rhode Island. Was like Teresa would say, a fresh breath of air.
Yeah.
It was a breath of fresh air for me because these girls reminded me of what we used to be before. Listen, this industry breeds paranoia. People turn on you, friends who you'd never expect, stab you in the back. Because you're always fighting for your spot.
Well, it's a devil's playground, isn't it?
It is,
right? And it's like it's like, I don't want to call you a circus animal, but it's kind of like
I'm a circus animal.
There's a ringling. It's like the circus master and the circus animals, and they get them to play, to do what they want, and it's where is your point of where you would draw the line and say I'm not doing this anymore when I can't. It's not worth it to me.
I have to look at myself in the mirror, right? So I've always, what people don't understand, nobody's making you do these things.
Absolutely.
NBC isn't calling you and saying, you have to do this.
No.
Not a fucking chance. It's what you choose to do because you drink the Kool-Aid of wanting to stay in the limelight.
Yep.
And that is not on our bosses, our producers.
No, it's on
not
anybody.
On Andy Cohen. It's what you choose to do with what you have.
No. Well, listen, if anybody says that they don't want to be famous, they're a fucking liar. I don't want to hear that shit. Most people, if you ask them if they want to be in a spotlight, they would. It's just the point of what will certain people do to stay there, and how much of their soul or their personality or their...
Are you willing to give up? And you know what? I've won, and I've kept myself because I've kind of stayed true to that at even times where I thought I would lose.
Yeah.
And I won, thank God, right? And I'm still there, thank God. But there's also desperate times. There's time. I'm a single mother.
Yeah.
I was a single mother. I started this show with like $500 in my bank account.
Yeah.
And back then I was like, no, I still got to stay true to myself, and I'm not going to do what you're asking me to do. They do like provoke you.
Yeah. Of course,
they're antagonists. the producers are antagonists. They're like, you have to react to that or you have to do that. They nudge you in a way that you don't have to go.
Right. It depends on you how you're going to go.
Right.
If they can put the nudging there and they're going to see how you.
But I was never, anytime you've ever seen me lose my temper, it wasn't because of a producer. It was because I lost my temper.
Yeah. You lost it over a reason that would upset you normally if you were having a conversation with a friend.
Just be yourself. I always say when you're on this show, be what you would because it's yourself that got you there.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, your personality got you there. Your personality got you to stay on the show. People love you. People love who you are. You know, I mean, and it's hard to be you because you do try to navigate where you're like the voice of reason and people do provoke you and piss you off, you know, and try to hurt you, you know, when it's not even warranted to try to hurt you, but they do,
That's fine. Listen, it's hard when a friend comes for you. If a stranger comes for me, that's like a Christmas present.
Oh, yeah. That's like, yeah, come on. Bring it on, bitch, you know.
Yeah. But when a friend, when you don't expect it, right? And somebody, and then, or they push you or behind the scenes, something's, and you're like, really? But I look at everything like, wow, thank you for doing that. Because
now I know who you are. Yeah.
I appreciate that so much. And guess what? I'm never going to tell you I found that out.
Right.
Not a fucking day.
And you know what? Then you know in your heart who really is your friend and who's not. And
the thing is, if it's said on camera, Jen.
Yeah.
Now you have to know this. When somebody tells you something on camera, you have to go back and tell the other person. Maybe you wouldn't have done that in real life, but if somebody says something to me on film,
you have to say something.
I have to leave that place and go back and tell them what the other person said. But they're doing it knowing that.
Yeah.
So it's like a different, like you kind of have to adjust things there.
Yeah.
But in real life, would I hurt my two friends when somebody's venting?
Never. No, you would never do that. You would never. That's not your character. That's not who you are. No. But on the camera, you have to do that. You have to
do it. And that person knows exactly what they signed up for when they decide to do that on camera.
Right. And if they say it, they're going to have to expect that you're going to come for them and you're going to say something to them and that's it.
Yeah, I just told you and I know you're going to have to tell her. But yeah.
And that's it. How do you feel? What do you feel like the future for the show is? Do you feel like there is going to be a future?
There's a lot of talks. Everyone knows there's been always casting. Every show casts every year, right?
Yeah.
I just don't know that they know what to do with us.
Yeah.
It got so bad at the Last Supper that they don't even know what to do with us.
I mean, do you feel like with all these muddied waters with everybody that there can even be like a true... You know, coming together and
like a true truce.
I mean, they might do it for the cameras, but is it really gonna? If it's a truce just for the cameras, is it really gonna emulate to the people that are watching? Well, are they really gonna believe
Bravo
it?
People are very, very, very smart.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on what they want to see.
Yeah.
Do they want it to be a truce? Then that's what they'll see.
Or are they trying to bring everybody back with a truce and then they know, oh, this is going to be dynamite. There's going to be drama and it's going to explode.
It's like when you relapse.
Right, exactly.
When you're in rehab and you come out and you're clean. Mm-hmm. And then when you relapse, it's bigger than ever.
Yeah. Then you're really going, it's like, you know, you're
the
going.
Relapse is usually when you OD.
Yeah, you're going a freaking hell in a handcart after that.
Yeah. Take out the Narcan. Because it's going down.
Well, I mean, look, I hope that your show does come back, you know, for you, because, you know, you deserve to have, you know, you deserve to keep your job. I mean, because you didn't do anything.
My son's getting married.
You didn't do anything to deserve losing your job, particularly. You know what I mean? You didn't bring that drama. It was everybody else's drama. You brought really nothing to it. You tried to just be, you know, you, Dolores. So, you know, you're the one who loses out of it because this is not about you anymore. It's about what's going on with a family, which is sad, and it's hard to see that. You know, like
I never advocate that.
I think it's terrible. Like,
Imagine if your daughters didn't get along.
That would never happen. That would never happen. And if it did, it would stop immediately. I had a situation over the summer. And my daughters weren't talking for a little while, and I was like,
kills you, doesn't it?
Killed me, my soul, killed my soul. I said, this has never happened. My brother left my house and said, you better fix this with your daughter, because he saw it. And then the next day it was done. I said, you guys got to fix this. I can't watch it anymore. My brother said, I said, look, I can't stop it. I said, let them, they have to feel
So
what they're
how did
feeling.
you stop it?
I said, you guys are sisters. You guys, listen, at the end of the day, you guys have each other.
That's all you have, yeah.
That's it. I said, in your life, if you could count on your hands, on 2 fingers of the friends that you have, your people that are going to be your friends and are going to be your soldiers are your sisters.
You don't deserve that as a mother either.
No. Not especially because I raised them by myself,
Yeah.
and they're they're like my little soldiers, and they're like my little army. And I said, and these are the ones that are going to go into battle for you. Nobody else is going to go into battle for you. I'm going to go into battle for you. I'm going to take a bullet for you. Your sister is going to take a bullet for you. That jerk off over here is not taking a bullet for you. They're going to drop you in 1 second. Forget about that. So you have to think about that. Forget about now, like what you're feeling, but think about ahead of what's going to happen if you're not talking to each other. So what are you going to do when so-and-so gets married or this one has a baby? You're not going to speak to each other? How is that going to work? And
it's very common.
It is. And I could never have that in my family. That would never happen. If I didn't talk to my brother, I would be on the floor dying. I would have a seizure if I didn't speak to my brother. I would die if I didn't talk to my brother or my sister. I wouldn't know. I fight with them. I want to kill them. But, for me, I could never. And I mean, there's always one in every family that's a dick that you kind of have to accept. And you might not have the best relationship with.
You just got to eat it. Whatever.
You eat it, but you kind of navigate through it. I don't know.
Some siblings, though, are fucking nuts.
They are.
I hear and you know what happens when the parents get sick? That's when the fights start.
When the
money,
and
money.
Who's doing what?
More? Who's taking care more? Who's spending more time helping? Not everybody has that time.
No, and that's
you do
true.
what you do, and don't worry about what somebody else is doing.
Exactly, and that's true, and that's where a lot of the fights come in, and It's hard. It's not easy, but you gotta kind of navigate through it, because at the end of the day, who do you have but your sisters?
The only way to navigate through it is to not pay attention to what the other person does with their money, does with their kids, does what for your parents. Worry about what you do.
Exactly. Worry about your own house. Don't worry about what's going on in their house. Worry about how you're navigating through the day.
Italians are nosy.
They are very.
And they're fucking opinionated about everybody else. You know that.
Oh, it's hard.
And they talk.
They do.
But so what? It's just talk. Let them talk. For me, I don't get offended like I used to.
No, me neither. I don't get offended. And it's a lot easier for me to say goodbye to somebody now. If somebody pisses me off or somebody is not going to make me happy in my life, a friend is going to bother me, you know what? I got to cut them off, love them from a distance, and say goodbye. Years ago, I would be any kind of breakup. Lose sleep over it, cry, feel bad.
I know there's some people that still get under your skin.
Yes. I mean, but it takes a lot to get under my skin. It does. It takes a lot because I just try not to let things bother me. But if somebody is not being forthcoming and I could see them coming and I feel listen, I'm an empath. I could feel people's them. I feel their energy. So if somebody's not true and somebody's bad energy, I don't want that near me. And if they come near me, I'm like, no, this has got to go, and I can't have it in my life. I can't have it infiltrate my life and infiltrate my being, because then it's going to hurt me and it's going to hurt my every day.
Well, the problem is, Jen, and what a lot of people don't realize is that hate and resentment is such an anchor, and worrying about other people, it's an anchor. It holds you down.
Yeah.
It really does. And the stuff that used to bother me in my 20s, I don't even think twice about now.
Yeah, me neither.
And until like a lot of young people, right, when they're just married, their mother-in-law gets on their nerves, or the person in their wedding didn't do this, or, shit like that. And I'm like, it's so trivial in the big scheme of things. It's not that big of a deal. And I've tried to raise my kids. My kids don't let little things bother them.
Yeah.
I never made a big deal about things. I never made my kids, like if they came home and they said, oh, I didn't get in the club I want. I said, so what?
Yeah.
Too fucking bad, actually. Because
That's
life's
their
not
loss.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't talk to them like that, but I should have. But I said, it's not fair. You'll wind up where you belong.
And that's true. But that's true. That's a true statement. You're going to wind up where you're supposed to be. And there's a reason why things happen in life. And it also depends on what path you go down, right? You know, there's always a choice.
Yeah, but all the parents, I see they baby their kids over
that's
every
now.
little thing. It's such a big deal. They come home and this one didn't do it. So what? I used to say to my kids, so what? I remember my son told me some kid took the ball off him in the playground. I go, that kid's a fucking loser. And you should have gave him the ball because he doesn't have friends and you do and you're an athlete. What are you, an asshole? He's like in second grade. If I find out you take the ball off that kid again, I'm going to punch you in your face. You go to school tomorrow and you make him think he got the ball off you again. Kidding me?
And your son's getting married. Aren't you excited?
I'm so excited, yes. I'm
Yeah.
very excited.
Did they set a date?
I believe it's August 1st next year, but it's in Portugal. So now my family doesn't have passports. So, and they're not getting any at all. So I'm not really sure. I'm in between right now. Jen, do I have a big wedding here? That's going to be on me.
You.
All of it.
Yep. Because that's the bride is
The
family's
bride's
doing the Portugal
dad,
thing.
he's like, I'm taking care of Portugal, which I also said, no, like I want, but they're such good people. They're like amazing people. So here I am now saying like, do I have a big wedding here? And it's going to be, I built a big life with very good people that I love.
Yeah.
It's like 200, it's got to be 200 people just for me.
For you, yeah.
Jen.
Yeah.
Like.
I forget about if he wants to invite his friends.
His
and
friends
her
that can't afford to go. The kids can't. Young
Yeah.
kids can't afford to
No.
do these weddings.
They can't afford to go do that.
You know, they can't afford these destination
No, they
weddings.
can't.
Portugal, a week. To bring a family is $20,000.
Yeah,
By
easy.
the time you're done with flights,
Easy.
rooms,
Food, everything.
it's $20,000. A family of 5.
No, 25 grand easy. On a mid-level vacation. A mid-level vacation.
So
It cost me 10 grand to go to Sicily by myself on
Thank
a
you.
food tour.
okay, so now I say, what do I do, or do I just give him the money, Jen? I'm kind of torn.
I would give him the money and say, you know what, buy a house. That's what I would do. If I
You're
could
going to
do
spend
it all,
$100 grand, right? 150.
you're not getting that money back. Nobody's giving envelopes like we did years ago. $500,000.
Remember all the guineas they come in.
Yes.
If the
food's
they don't seal the envelope,
nope.
and if there's no Viennese table, they're all running the
$50
the
out,
old ladies who's brings the plastic bags and the lines in the purse. If they don't get that fucking Viennese table,
That's it.
You're just getting the wedding cake. They're running to the bathroom,
Taking it out of the envelope. If you
If
don't
you're
get a
getting-
third bean on their coffee dish, on their espresso, forget. Oh my God, the Mallorca. We can't put any money in the envelope. No, forget it.
it's over.
No.
And you never seal the envelope.
No.
So,
But that's not happening anymore. That is not happening anymore. You would be lucky to break even. And it's not good. You'd be lucky.
so I need to have a conversation with the kids and ask them what they want to do. And I'll just maybe have a small dinner for my immediate family, like my mother and brother and sisters. That's it.
I mean, I think the big weddings today. I mean, listen, I was planning a wedding, and what it was costing, it was just ridiculous. I said it's over in 5 hours. What do you have left? I'd rather take the money. Here's $100 grand. Go buy a house. I'd rather you take that money and do that. That's my opinion. Now, I think that's what I did when I got married. I already had a baby already. I had a Geraldine. So I was my grandma was like, "You want the money for a wedding or a house?" I said, "Give me the money for a house," and that's what I did. And that was the best thing I chose to do. So I think that's the better plan now. Today it's ridiculous. They're never gonna make that money back. Not even that, because this is what the kids think. Yeah, I'm gonna get all this money from the wedding.
They're not. But she wants her day, and she's having her wedding in Portugal.
But she's having her day in Portugal.
Yes, and I don't know. And then that's the other thing. I'm the mother-in-law.
Yes, you're
I
the
don't want to step
mother-in-law.
on any toes. I'm going to plan a wedding. She's going to be like, really? Like, it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't want any trouble. I'm not going to be that mother-in-law.
You don't want to be that mother-in-law.
I don't
But
want
you're not
any
that mother-in-law, though.
No, I don't. I love her. I love her family. I don't want any trouble. Brides like things the way they like them. And, I'm going to speak. Frankie's very practical with his money. I think he still has his communion money. So
That sounds like my daughter Geraldine. She still got her bonds from her baptism. She still has them.
Yeah. My father cashed my bonds in to buy a car one time. I was just dating, right? And I get this letter from the bank. And I'm like, what is this? I don't even understand how to read it. So I know Frank was an attorney at the time. He goes, Dolores, you have money somewhere. Meanwhile, I was working 4 jobs. I said, Dad, what's this? He goes, yeah, whatever. I bought a car. It was like a car from The Godfather. It was one of those old black cars. Meanwhile, he was charging me $350 a month for a car he got for free. Don't even ask. He's a fucking...
I love your dad. Your dad's the
something
best.
else that Larry
He's the best. He's the best.
The chief.
I love him.
I love him. Listen, if he wasn't who he was, I would have never survived the things I had to survive in my life. If I was not raised the way he raised me, and I will never be mad at him for any of it.
Most people would be in the corner dying if they went through what you went through or what I went through.
No. I appreciate it.
You should write a book. I want to write a book too. I want to write a book about my life.
I don't, because my family wouldn't, because they're so tight-mouthed. Like, I feel like in order for me, and not that I grew up so horrible, but it was. Anyway, but if I ever talked about my family business, I feel like unless I did that,
yeah,
it wouldn't be fair to the book, because you can't figure out who I am unless you knew what I went through.
The origin.
Where I came from.
You got to bring the origin.
So that's why I was asked to write a book a lot of times. Like, and then they're like, well, start your book from your divorce.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, I could do that.
You could do that.
I could definitely do that. And I thought about that. But then I thought to myself, not yet. Because, kids still read.
Yeah, your kids are still...
They remember everything.
Yeah.
But to have to read certain things that maybe they don't know.
It'll rip
I
felt scab off.
Yeah, and I don't want them to know how bad things were, how bad I took things. They don't need to read about how hurt their mother was or that. Let them be what they are.
Let them let them. Yeah, they don't need to know right now.
They're good. They're big. They're tough. They know enough.
Yeah, I feel the same way. That's the way.
And when I think
too.
about my mom and some of the things she went through, I feel like bad for her. I feel hurt for her, and especially if I was younger, and I get upset when I think about like how hard things were her sometimes. So I'm like, I don't really want to. But I counsel women and I talk to young girls all the fucking time. And guys too.
Me too. I talk to a lot of young women and a lot of young people starting their life and letting them know, especially girls, and let them know about, how hard it is. It's not easy. We went through some similar situation, and, anybody else would be dead in the corner for what we did. And we rose from the ashes like a phoenix, to try to, move on with our life.
I wouldn't want to have to go through all that over again.
No,
I don't want to be young again. No. I want to look it.
Yeah, me too.
That's why we have people like you and Dr. Karolak. I don't want to, like I said to my daughter the other day, I go, you have some very big decisions, very hard decisions to make in your life where I've been, and I don't envy you for that.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true.
Because those decisions are going to depend, and it's going to depend on whether you're going to have some really fucking hard days or some not so hard days.
They'll
be hard, but they don't have to be as hard as they do. No,
and you don't have to make the same. It's always so funny. It always seems that our daughters always seem to always make the same mistakes we did, in a different way. And, I had to stop a mistake that my daughter was making and let her know, you lived through this, what I went through. Do you want to go through the same exact thing that I did?
She's not built like you.
And no. No, she would never be able to survive what I survived. And
she wouldn't come out the way you did.
No.
She might survive, but she's not going to land where you did. She's not cut from that cloth.
She's not.
And you made sure she wasn't.
No, exactly.
And that's why.
Yes. I made sure my girls weren't going to be in that situation or live that way.
Yeah.
No. And have to live that way. There was no reason for them to. So I made sure
that was a hard time for you.
Very hard. It was hard. I had to be mom and dad, and I had to keep my kids close to me, even though it was, they didn't like it because I was not always nice to them. I was tough on them. But now they realize why I was so tough. Because if I wasn't, they would have walked all over me. They would have walked all over me. They would have been butanas. They would have been drug addicts. They would have been in the street. And you know what? They're 3 good kids.
They really are. And they're crazy for you.
They are. They do. They are. They're crazy for me. They are. At first, the high school years, they weren't. But now, as they got older, I'm not going to lie, I fucking hated my one, especially my middle daughter when she was in high school. I fucking hated her. I hated her guts. God forgive me, but I hated that kid. I did. I loved her, but I hated her as a person. She was just an asshole, and I hated
it's the middle child always,
oh my God, she was an asshole. And you know what? Thank God she got out of that, and now we have such a great relationship now. Her and
Those are the ones that get close to you because they feel bad in the end.
Yeah, she feels bad. She realizes now, and she says, "Mom, I realize what you did, and I'm sorry I gave you such a hard time, But she did. She gave me a hard time. She was an asshole.
Maybe you run for your money.
That's it. Her mouth, her everything. It was just,
Did you ever pull her hair?
Oh, my God. Yeah. And I never heard the end of it. She brings it up all the time.
Well, then you didn't do it enough if that's the only thing she has to complain about.
No, when they used to see me bite my hand is when they would run. They would know I had enough. I started like this. They're like, their eyes like this, and they would run away from me. They knew that I was I was over the edge. Get the fuck away from me because I'm going to kill you. But yeah, I still hear about the time I pulled her hair or smacked her. Like I smacked her. Yeah. Oh, you smacked me. I'll get over it.
They have the story. So it was Frankie's birthday, and we have a tradition. We all go out to dinner for the birthday. And the kids started talking about all the things that we went through growing up. Even Dougie, a kid that lived with me forever up until recently. And they were just making fun of me so bad at the table. Even Paul was laughing so hard. And Frank,
because he doesn't know you from then.
No,
so he doesn't know you from when the kids are younger.
No. And Frank was like, I didn't even know half this happened. I go, that's what mothers do.
Yeah. And it's true. They don't know what, and my kids, I think I'm cool, but my kids think I'm so not cool. They'll make fun of me.
They think you're cool. They just don't tell you.
They're like, Mom, really? Like if I put something on, they'll tell me Mom.
Oh, the TikToks?
If I have something I'm wearing, they'll be like, Mom, please. Or I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? Like, what are you wearing that for? What are you saying that for? I'm like, and I think I'm being cool. And they're like, no, I'm not. My kids do not think I'm cool. They really don't think I'm cool. Maybe they secretly do. But I'm like, all their friends think all their friends think I am. All their friends laugh and have fun with me, but they don't. They don't.
How'd you get along with the other mothers at school, Jen?
I didn't go to school and pick up my kids. I hated them all. No, I hated them all. I wasn't the typical Howard Beach mother, stay-at-home mother. I was not. I had a nanny. They didn't like that. I had some mother walk up to my kid and ask them why the nanny picked you up from school. I was like, the next time she tells you to say it, because my mother doesn't sit home like you and do nothing, has a career and goes to work every day. Because they knew that my husband was in jail at that time, so they wanted to make my kid feel uncomfortable. And they used to target my kids because I wasn't at school every day like they were.
So they didn't get invited to stuff?
Well, they did get invited, but they were targeted because I wasn't at school every day where these mothers were, their whole life was dropping their kids off at school and then going home and then picking them up again and having the coffee clutch in front of the schoolyard and all hanging out together. Me, I used to pick up my kid and run out of there. I could not deal with that whole thing. I mean, it's funny because even my clique of friends, everybody hated us because they thought we were so mean. We were like the mean girls. No, we just didn't like you because we didn't like your those mothers the way they were.
Yeah, they have their cliques in the school, and that's the way it is.
Yeah. But they were, their father was in jail, so it was always like whispered.
How long was he in jail for?
The first time he was in jail for 4 years. The second time 6 years. So
a long
10 years out of our
That's
marriage.
a long time. And
to be gone.
you were married while he was in jail. You stayed married.
Yep. I stayed married, and then I got divorced after. Well, I tried to divorce him while he was in jail, and he wouldn't let me. But yeah, but that's a story for another day. But
That's
listen,
a whole nother podcast.
That's
your
a whole
book.
nother podcast.
That's your
my
book, Jen. Do it.
Yeah, my ringside seat. That's what I want to call it.
That's a good one.
Right, my ringside seat. So yeah, it's another podcast story. But everybody knows my story, pretty much my background and what happened, that he was in jail and blah blah blah. It was not easy to going that through just through it once, but twice. It was a lot. That's where it was bad. The second time was worse than the first time. The second time was worse. And that's when I just said, you know what, I don't want to deal with this lifestyle anymore. I'm done with this street life and this lifestyle, and I'm done. I got to go a different path. I got to get out of that mentality, that whole mentality that I was in. And that's why I'm leaving. That's why I'm moving out of my neighborhood too.
Do you wish you moved out sooner?
I do. But I didn't because of the kids, because I didn't want to, their life was already blown up because their father was in jail, and I didn't want them to lose, their grandparents. And
That's a big deal, yeah.
And their cousins were there. So I didn't want to do that, which I should have done to save myself. And it would have probably been better off if I took them out of that environment, looking back. But I didn't want them to lose that whole connection to his mom, his dad, their friends, their cousins. So, now I'm ready to go to say, what am I still doing here now? I'm not married anymore.
I've been telling you since I met you to get out of there.
Well, it's happening. So I'll be in Jersey soon. I'll be
Go
in
to the Alexa.
soon.
It was the best time in my life.
Yeah, that's where I want to go. That's where I want to start. You got to tell me. You got to give me that information, because I want to look at something over there too. So I'll be in Jersey. I'll be a Jersey resident soon.
All right. Welcome home.
Welcome home. So Dolores, tell everybody where they could find you, and what's the next thing you're going to be doing if not the Housewives.
You could find me on my first and last name, Dolores Catania. That's my TikTok and my Facebook and Instagram. Rhode Island Housewives eventually will be coming out. I'm not sure. There's no date. Yeah, you'll see me some cameos on there.
Okay.
What else? There's I have my beauty pass. Jen, did you join the beauty pass? You better join the beauty pass. It's 5, text Dolores, DOLORES, to 52705. And every week you get a free product. You get a text, and it features a free high-end product. All you have to pay is shipping and handling. You don't have to buy it.
I'm going to sign up for it now. As soon as
52705, and text Dolores, and
I'll put it at the bottom of the screen.
And then it's free gift Friday, and the features, the stuff is amazing. Like the L'Oreal pearls that are
oh, I love that,
$60, $70, $15, and it's not a trial size. It's a real regular size.
It's a regular
size. Grande lash,
love
$15, because all you're paying is shipping and handling.
That's it.
So I really can't stress enough why anybody doesn't do it. Seriously. And I'm working on menopause. I'm working on a platform. I'm building a platform so that women can go and find information about menopause, because women's health care is so marginalized.
It's true. And that's amazing that you're doing that. When are you going to start? Is it going to be a podcast?
I'm trying to work out the quirks, but in the meantime, I'm gathering content. I speak to a lot of doctors all around the country who are very good in the hormone department, but they are not accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that right now.
I would love to work on you with the with the BRCA gene.
Okay.
I would love to do that with you.
Well, I have a gummy coming out that can help with the symptoms. Of course, it's not replacing the hormones.
No.
But the stuff in it is supposed to help with the symptoms. Now, you can't take hormones, right?
No.
Okay. But you could take a gummy.
Yes, I could
that
take
has the ashwagandha and all the stuff that calms you and is supposed to help with temperature regularity.
You know what's funny is that I went through menopause, and then when I started losing weight again, the last 2 years, when
came back. Yeah,
came back.
You know, that might be your thyroid, because and you might be low on testosterone, which you can't take, right?
No, I can't take any hormones.
Okay,
I mean,
so-
I could take a low dose of testosterone if I chose, but
might
I'm so afraid to because
Yeah.
I do have the BRCA gene.
Testosterone is your thyroid's best friend.
Yeah.
So when your thyroid's off, it may be because your testosterone is so low.
Yeah.
Have you done your blood work?
Yeah, I mean, right now my levels are okay. My testosterone is a little lower than it should be.
But
So
you don't have to go by what your blood work says, Jen, because your hormones are also up and down.
That's
so the
true.
day you've done your blood work doesn't mean that
That's where they
the
are.
truth. You have to go by how you feel.
Yeah.
And you have to go by what your symptoms are. So if you're having hot flashes and the doctor or your gyno says, oh, no, these are good, well, my body's telling me different.
Yeah.
So fuck you because you really don't know what you're talking about and don't blow me off.
yeah, I mean, and that's what a lot of doctors do. They do blow
Because they don't know
people.
about it and they don't care.
Well, because most doctors are men too.
Well, no, the women
no,
too.
there's women. Yeah,
Because
women
you know
doctors, too.
why? They went to school 20 years ago. They did their thing. They didn't have to learn about this in school. They don't feel like picking up a book again.
They don't.
Do you
It's
feel
true.
like learning more about something you already learned about years? Like,
No, they don't want to do the due
they don't
diligence.
want to. They don't care.
They don't care.
They don't want to be a specialist in it. They're done.
And that's why we need people like you to talk about.
I'm advocating for these women and for what they're going through because you're losing marriages because of it.
Yes.
Women are being left at an age where they're supposed to be sitting back and enjoying the life that they made with their family and their husbands because they're not able to give of themselves anymore. There's nothing left.
Yeah.
They're so depleted from everything. Now, on top of that, you put anxiety and depression, which is also hormonal. And I just feel so bad. Women are quitting their jobs as they're climb the ladder in their 40s. And they're pulling up to work and going, I just can't go in. I'm quitting. So there's a real lack of middle-aged women in the workforce who now have become experts at what they do. These companies are losing their
And they're
experts.
losing them because
So
of
they-
how they feel.
So they just passed a law in Rhode Island saying that they are giving you menopause leave as if they give maternity leave as well.
Which we do. Probably menopause leave is probably more important than
important.
paternity leave because it's such a hard thing to go through.
Right.
I went through it abruptly because I had a hysterectomy at 36. So I can tell you that was the horrible thing to go through that young. It was mentally depleting, physically depleting. It was horrible to go through that. And then, now that it's happening to me again, but it's not that bad, but it did come back since I lost weight. But it's mentally and physically draining.
So
It really is.
what people don't realize is perimenopause starts at 35. At 35, you stop producing testosterone.
Yes.
So that's when menopause starts.
Yes.
And that's when you start to produce the hormones that you normally would produce in your body. So to get ahead of it, there's nothing wrong with it. If you're eligible for hormones, why not?
do. I agree.
And testosterone, by the way, is only covered for men.
It's not covered for women, which it
It's
should
not
be.
covered for women. And it also, the loss of testosterone is really hard on your heart.
Yes.
And the leading cause of death in women is heart disease.
That's true.
So I'm really just trying to educate women with this. But not only educate them, okay, so now I've given them the information. Where the fuck are they going? So now my thing is I'm looking for doctors who are willing to help these women without charging them thousands of dollars.
And you're so amazing. I love you.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you. And I want to, if I can do anything to help you with this, I would love to.
All right.
Count me in. Maybe
Thank
we
you.
could start it. We could start a clinic in Jersey.
All right. Well,
You
let's
know
do
what
it.
I mean? We could do that. Think about it. We could talk about that. I'm so glad you came on the show
Thanks for
today, my
having me,
friends. I
Jen.
love you, Miss Dolores. Thank you so much. I love this
Love
woman
you.
so much. And everybody have a great day. Please tune in to Cats of Pudding. Hit that subscribe button. I'm looking at the wrong camera. I'm looking at this camera.
Start
Look
over.
at- Okay. Please tune into Cats of Pudding. Hit that subscribe button. Please subscribe. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or I'm coming after you, and so is Dolores.
Oh, you don't want me. You don't want us.
Have a great day, everyone.
Thank
that
you.
was great.